You can't create a 10-year plan to forecast changing millions of people's lives. You've got to let all the people that you're working with now guide you and illuminate, how can I better serve the next folks who come my way? I talk to a lot of people who have these big scaling goals. They don't want to do the one-on-one work now or ever, and they have a vision of, I want to scale up. Here's my business plan for scaling to reach millions, because that's how I'm going to make the maximum impact. One to many is the thought process here. One of the challenges with building a business model that at the very beginning, your goal is, I am going to reach millions. There's a difference between reaching millions or even selling to millions or even having the attention of millions and actually impacting millions. And I hate to use that phrase, but here we are. So often when somebody comes to me with this vision, they have the vision now and they're not reaching a big volume of people yet. And yet they build an entire business model plan, a marketing plan, a strategy around the theory of what it would look like to build a business to serve millions of people. Then the goal becomes the volume, right? Then the goal is, how do I reach that next level of monthly recurring revenue? Not what are the tactics for making the biggest, most meaningful impact on every single person that I'm serving in that audience. I shudder when a business owner has a detailed 10-year plan for how they're going to take the thing they're doing now and scale it to millions, because I would argue you can't create a 10-year plan for that. I would argue that in the process of serving person after person after person, of seeing how your teachings get applied in different people's lives, where different types of people get stuck, where different types of challenges come up, let alone what's going to happen in the world to throw additional curveballs to people, that is going to necessarily shift your detailed 10-year plan. It's going to tell you, what do you need to roll out next? It's going to help you see how you need to overhaul your containers and your systems to be more supportive to people. Your audience is going to show you the next phase of your 10-year plan. You can't forecast that 10 years in the future. But when $150,000 in monthly recurring revenue is the goal, you skip that shit. And it's just like, how do I load in as much volume as possible? Why do so many business coaches, thought leaders, influencers focus on these big revenue numbers as the main result that they help people achieve? Because it's the most wide-reaching. It speaks to the most people. Who doesn't want more money, right? It's easy. It's lazy. It's a lazy result to promise people. And I do think that most of these big leaders truly believe in their hearts they're making a huge impact. They look at their numbers. They look at the testimonials saying, you changed my life. They look at their monthly recurring revenue and they say, I am changing the world. And I think that the way that they sleep at night, when they know that statistically only a tiny fraction of people are going to get the results that they're promising, I think that they say, well, it's not my fucking problem if people take my teachings and they don't do anything with them, right? That's their deal. Most people don't change. People don't want to do the work. That's their problem. But this is what I have been chewing on this morning, because when we put profit first, volume first as the main goal, and then we worry about the impact later. What I told this guy who was in my inbox was that when we look at our business models through the lens of how do I get to 150,000 plus in monthly recurring revenue first, instead of how do I help as many people who I'm working with as possible, we lose our connection to the people that we're serving more and more and more over time. This is why I believe you have to be a student of your students. And this is why I believe you can't create a 10-year plan to forecast changing millions of people's lives. You've got to let all the people that you're working with now guide you and illuminate, how can I better serve the next folks who come my way? What's a new container for this? How can I energize people to stay the course and get all the way to the end? How can I dream up new ways to energize as many people as possible to change their own lives, versus how do I dream up so many ways to market to them more effectively? How do I get more people into the same fucking funnel? Because we know that B-School hasn't changed in however many years. A little birdie told me years ago that Marie Forleo herself doesn't really like working with people one-on-one. That's why she scaled B-School to reach as many people as possible. She really wanted distance between herself and the people. And there's a part of me that understands that, like protecting your energy, all of that stuff. I do get that. And at the same time, we know that the model of B-School or Tony Robbins or all of these people is, I'm going to keep the product the same, and I'm just going to widen the audiences that I market it to. That's why Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi hired Jenna Kutcher to make their program more inclusive, LOL, which is a way of saying, can you bring your audience in? Because they haven't heard of our shit before. So they're not focused on innovating the stuff that they're teaching. They're teaching the same. They're focused on innovating their marketing to reach more people. This is the tale of capitalism. It's not about new and improved products. It's about new and improved marketing to reach more people with the same old. And I'm not about that. I look at some of the people who have truly changed the world, and they didn't start shit being like, I have an idea, but before I start this idea, I got to figure out a business plan for how to fucking scale this to reach millions. Because if I don't see the ROI on this bad boy, it ain't worth doing. They're focused on the fucking idea. They're focused on innovating. They're focused on making meaningful change in how the world works, right? Or they're Mark Zuckerberg and they're focused on creating a tool where you can rate how hot the girls at your college are. One or the other, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like if change is our goal, we need to stop hanging our hat on the sexy vanity metrics, on the 150K and monthly recurring revenue, and we need to get fucking passionate about creating systems and programs and solutions and cool new ideas for energizing people and helping them get to the end, helping them get to the fucking finish line. Am I right?